What's up, people? Welcome back to the BCMA podcast. That's the Black Clover Martial Arts podcast. It's your boy, Lucky from Lucky's Muay Thai. This is episode number 49. If you can believe that. We started this during the beginning of the pandemic. I did not know I was going to even do 49 episodes. I had no idea what I was even doing. I just wanted to get on here, chat, hopefully uplift a few people, because I think everybody during the time I started this was a little bit down. And I hope you've enjoyed this ride thus far. Episode 50 should be a big bang. I'm not sure exactly, what I want to let out the bag just yet. But anyway, I want to thank you all so very much for these, 49 episodes. Thank you, because without you watching and hanging out and talking about this stuff, I wouldn't even be doing it. I'm doing it because we get a chance to interact either through this podcast or in person, and I love to talk about these things. In this episode, I guess we got to talk about one championship and the kick heard around the world. We also need to talk about the storied career of Andy Souwer, who finished his career there, getting sort of TKO'd by Marat Grigorian. I think he had some other problems, but we'll talk about that. And weight cutting? Are we still talking about fucking weight cutting? We haven't figured out yet that... I'll save it, but whatever. But first, if you like the show, keep the like, hit the subscribe button, tell a friend. 49 episodes in the bag. I'm still out here. You can hear my sinuses right now. I've had this little sinus thing going. But I hope that you've enjoyed it. Like I said, keep that like, hit the subscribe button. If you want to stop by the gym, www.luckysmt.com and hit us up, man. We'll book you for a trial class. You come by. If you like it, you know what it is. Stick around. We all grow together. That's how we do it. www.luckysmt.com. Onward. All right, so one championship delivered again with First Strike. It was the kickoff of their featherweight kickboxing Grand Prix. We had a lot of good fights there. I don't want to really go into all of that. It was really well done card as usual. I want to spend a little time before we even get into the kick heard around the world, which I think I'm just going to call it the kick from now on. I think everybody that saw it knows exactly what I'm talking about. But before we get into that, I got to give some props to Andy Souwer, who is one of my favorite fighters, particularly because of the way he fought. Very aggressive, brutally. I think he trained some with Ramon Deckers back in the day. He retired after this fight. Big props to Marat Grigorian, who is just a freaking beast, man. This dude can punch. He's a power guy. Kicks, punches, everything, power. And I love it. So Andy Souwer went out there and he was putting together some things, but you could just see the power difference in the two. And eventually, he got caught with a sort of a twisting jab, like a hooking jab in a weird way. He spoke about it a little in the interview. He said he throws this jab in this weird fashion where it just sort of comes in this twisting way with his elbow up. And he ate one and hit the deck. And then when he tried to get up, it wasn't that he was knocked out. When he tried to get up, his leg failed him. Right. And he claimed later that he had maybe possibly some nerve damage, which, this is entirely possible. You're throwing your legs, your baseball bats at people. They're blocking them or they're not. You're hitting knees, you're hitting hips, elbows, not just soft tissue. And those kind of things happen. But he said it, felt like electricity, so forth and so on. Anyway, I salute you, brother, because to me, you're one of the greatest. I got to watch, a lot of your career. The highlights are awesome to watch. And I started wearing tights and sparring sometimes just because of you. So if anybody sees him, let him know. Not that he's watching. But I really enjoyed Andy Souwer's fight. Shout to Marat Grigorian, taking nothing away from him. He was a great fighter, obviously. And it seems to me that when Marat Grigorian is on real stable legs, which he normally is, he can deliver shots that you usually can eat, meaning like that jab, sort of twisting jab where the elbow comes up, you should be able to eat that normally. But because of the way he throws his punches, the power that he throws with, you just never know, man. So he caught one like right on the top of the head, kind of, in the forehead area. And it could have been the temple, just the angle. That's what put him down. But once again, if you have not seen Andy Souwer, please go watch his highlights. I'm going to wear tights today in the sparring just to, show some respect Might watch a few highlights before the sparring starts, and we'll see what happens. I guess we should get to the kick. Superbon versus Giorgio Petrosyan. Okay. Superbon is Superbon. Giorgio Petrosyan is Giorgio Petrosyan. These are two titans. I don't want to say beasts or monsters or animals or whatever the hell people say. These are two titans in the striking world. Superbon, I think, obviously is maybe more well known for his Muay Thai. Giorgio Petrosyan, obviously the king of kickboxing, or, arguably the greatest, some might even say. When they got into this first round, if my memory serves me correctly, Giorgio Petrosyan was being pretty busy, right? But Superbon was sneakily throwing this right kick every time on the exit. So every time Giorgio Petrosyan finished striking combination, he would catch a right kick on the way out. So it was either to the body or to the head. I saw him throw maybe the first one early in the first round was to the head, and Petrosyan got his arm up and was able to block. This happened a few times throughout that round, and there were times where it was close even. The problem, I think, came when Petrosyan would back Superbon up, and Superbon would lead Petrosyan backwards. So Petrosyan would stop to throw as Superbon sort of made his way back, and he would either have to lean in or he was on his way out with his hands down. And I think this became a thing. So Superbon, I think, landed 2 body kicks prior to landing the head kick. And I think that was, where the game was being played, was in this sort of like area where it's like, are you going to reach, how far are you going to reach for me? And where are you going to put your arms on your exit? Are you going to bring your hands back to your face? Are you going to stay there and move your feet forward and stay in position? Or are you going to try to retract your body back to your legs? And I think that what you saw there was sort of this thing where Petrosyan reached in through his combination, and then when he retracted, the leg was already coming and caught him across the face. And my man crossed his legs, laid down on the canvas, and relaxed. And when I say that, I'm not trying to make light of it. He really knocked him unconscious with that kick and bounced his head off the canvas. First of all, it's a tough KO to watch. For Petrosyan, it's got to be a tough KO to take, because if you go and watch Petrosyan fight, any highlights, I mean, you're not talking about some chump, man. He kicked the head off of, like I said, arguably the greatest kickboxer of all time. I mean, all right, so look, with the magic of the internets, I guess we can watch it. All right, I haven't done this setup in a while, so bear with me as I set this up to watch, sort of what happens here. All right, the walk back. There's the body kick. There's the body kick again, and the head kick, just like I called it. I didn't call it that way, but that's the way I saw it initially. But he had been doing this the entire time. This was not new. This was something that was already being set up early. I mean, it's not to say Petrosyan wasn't landing. He was. Can't exit with your hands down. You got to always exit with your hands up and be out of your range, or out of the range of your opponent. And you have to know what that range is. The longest range you have to be out of if you're going to have your hands down. Anyway, all that being said, God dang it, that was a great card. Big shout out to Superbon. Big shout out to Giorgio Petrosyan, because, man, that's tough right there. It's tough to fall on your head, brother. That man's the champ right there. Anyway. All right, I guess I'll briefly discuss this weight cutting thing that's going on, as if we haven't gone through this 8 million times. Either somebody's stumbling off the blocks, shaking, trying to make the weight, or rush to the hospital, the fight is off, or whatever situation. Or there's a catch weight and you have to lose part of your purse. And listen, this is Marvin Vettori, Paulo Costa have to fight at a catch weight because Costa's 25 plus pounds overweight. Tried to make a catch weight of 95, 90, 200, 205. Sold to the man in the back with the wine. I don't know. Just make the fights closer to people's weights. The problem with this is fighters like to fight. And they like to fight other people that like to fight. And it just so happens that sometimes guys that are heavier talk, and then guys that are a little lighter talk, and they decide, well, you know what, y'all, you want to fight? Let's meet in the middle. So even if we got rid of this crazy weight cutting craziness where you just got to fight closer to your weight, there are still going to be times where guys know, you know what, man, I'm going to cut 10 pounds. I'm going to meet you down there. I've been waiting to fight you. And the other person is going to be like, oh, yeah, all right, cool. I'm going to go up 5 pounds and I'm going to meet, whatever. And this is going to happen forever, unfortunately, because those fights make money and money makes sense and all that, whatever it is. Listen, weight cutting is crazy. It is a super big danger to everybody's health. If you ask me, though, in this situation, I think maybe Paulo Costa's trying to get cut. Maybe he realizes that Israel Adesanya is the king of the middleweight division, and until he decides to move his ass up to light heavy, he's not going to beat him. And maybe he realizes it's a waste of his time to be in the UFC if he's not going to ever get a chance to be the champ. I don't know, man. It's conceivable that maybe he's trying to irritate the brass so much that they just say, man, you're cut. They see that, he sees that maybe they cut other people. Maybe they'll cut him. He gives them enough problems. He ends up in Bellator, won championship somewhere else. Maybe he's in a better situation. Maybe he's making some good money. Maybe he knows he's safe from the boogeyman. Is he? Obviously. Marvin Vettori's, he's Marvin Vettori. It's not to say he can't fight, but, Izzy kind of sunned both of those dudes. So until one of them can beat him, he's the man. And I haven't seen it. So to me, I think maybe he's just trying to get out of there. But back to weight cutting. Fucking stop it. Anyway, if you like the show, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. This was episode number 49. If you want to stop by the gym, www.luckysmt.com. 49 episodes, y'all. I don't even know what I got nothing. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Looking forward to episode 50. Peace.